Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Andrew, and this is Rocket Future. Let me know if you can hear me and see me all right. We are out here on the side of Highway 4, right out front of the Starbase launch complex. And as you can see, there are a couple sheriff vehicles in place as Booster 10 is going to be arriving to the launch complex in just a little while. I drove by the build site a little while ago, and it looked like Booster 10 was about to make it on the highway. So I assume at this point we probably already have Booster 10 on its way. I would like to check in on some of the other feeds just to see where Booster 10 is currently. But if you're watching anybody else's feed and you know how far Booster 10 has made it down the highway, let me know. I'll check in and chat here shortly. So we're going to have some good views for you here. This Locks vehicle, I guess it is, just pulled up literally right next to me and is kind of blocking my view here. So hoping he's going to back up as it gets closer to the arrival of Booster 10. But if not, I'll be able to move my camera. And I might actually do that here in just a couple minutes after I finish up with the introduction here. But yeah, welcome in everybody. Early morning down here at Starbase. We're just waiting the arrival of Booster 10. Really interesting move by SpaceX. What I would have expected to happen is after the spin prime test of Ship 28 a couple days ago, I would have expected to see. Sorry, this is just beeping and stuff behind me. I would have expected to see a static fire Ship 28 in Thursday or Friday or this upcoming week. But they canceled the Thursday closure, they canceled the Friday closure, and then they schedule this intermittent road delay. And they're getting Booster 10 already back down here. That doesn't mean that they won't static fire Ship 28. Yeah, we'll just have to find out. Good news that Booster 10 is making it back to the launch complex, as hopefully that means they figured out whatever the reasons for shipping it back to the production site were related to some potential problems that they had during the wet dress rehearsal. So the question is, what are we going to see in coming days after Booster 10 makes it back down here? Are we going to see Booster 10 head straight to the OLM? Yes, I'm sure of it. Are we going to see Ship 28 move back to the OLM and then get restacked on top of Booster 10? And I think that's pretty likely. So we'll have to see. I'm just keeping my eyes on vehicles here. As I hear sirens and stuff, I just want to make sure that we're well out of the way and not in anybody's way. Okay, so I'm going to get chat up. I'm going to check in on chat here in a minute. I'm going to move the camera so we get a better view. Stand by. All right, so we've made some adjustments here. Let's get this back up. Made some adjustments, so hopefully we'll get a better angle at this as the booster starts to get closer here. Early morning. I'm not seeing a ton of people or activity in chat, but that's okay. We'll be here to document this this rollout, and then obviously when people wake up or they would like to watch the rollout with their morning coffee or later on, this the VOD will be available for anybody who's not able to watch it here live. So I quickly checked NSF's NASA Spaceflight's feed just to see where Booster 10 was. It was really hard to tell exactly where it is right now because it's so dark out. But I really have no way of knowing how far out we are. But if rollout started, let's say 20 minutes ago, then we're probably 25 minutes away from Booster 10's arrival here to the launch complex. But if you are watching in, let me know you're in chat. Let me know that you can see and hear okay. And let me know where you're watching from. We're not only live on YouTube, but also on X and Facebook, Twitch, Kick, and I think that's about it. I'm not currently actively checking the chat and comments on any of the platforms other than YouTube, just a heads up. So if you are watching on any of those other platforms, I am not checking your chat messages. Feel free to come over to YouTube and chat in the YouTube chat message. At some point, we'll try to aggregate all of the chats into one place so I can view them during a live stream, no matter what platform they're originating from. But for now, we're just monitoring the YouTube chat. So what are we seeing right here? So obviously, there's not a ton to see quite yet. We do have those two sheriff vehicles that are positioned in order to block off the highway so that cars won't be interrupting the rollout of this booster. This is an absolutely massive vehicle that's going to be rolling down the highway here. So if you haven't seen one of these before, you'll see why shortly, why they need so much just security and make sure everybody's safe during this process. They keep everybody at a safe distance away. Sometimes as the booster gets close, they ask even I to get pushed further back, but the camera will stay and everything. So if that happens, I'll just have to position the camera in a good spot, and then I will walk further back with the mic. You won't be able to see me, but you'll still be able to hear me, and we'll chat as the booster arrives. But we shouldn't have to worry about that until it's real close. I'm just looking up the highway, and there's another sheriff slowly approaching and another security slowly approaching, which I don't think is going to be in front of the convoy quite yet. It seems way too fast. God D. Usopp is in chat saying, nice work. I appreciate you. Thanks for stopping in. But looks like, yeah, it looks like video's working. Hopefully audio's working too. Let me do a self-audio check. Yep, audio's good too. So that's good. That's all good news. Let me see if I can pull up somebody's feed right now and see exactly where this booster's at. Okay, I have the NSF feed up right now. And I don't really have any landmarks. Oh, we're a little out of focus here. I don't have any landmarks on the NSF feed that I'm watching to tell how far out we are so far. So I'll keep an eye on that for you. But yeah, in the meantime, if you have any questions about anything, please feel free to let me know. I'm going to be hanging out here with you through this whole process to answer any questions and help let you know what's going on. But for now, we're just going to be hanging out here until the booster gets close, and then I'll be behind the camera, and I'll make sure that we get all the best angles and stuff. But yeah, we're down here at Starbase, and we have the launch complex just to my right-hand side here, looking at the tower right now. And this is where they build, or this specifically is where they test and launch their Starship launch vehicle. Just about 2 miles up the road, the build site, also known as the production site, is where they build these vehicles, and then they ship them the 2 miles down the road in a vertical orientation for testing and for launch. It's really quite the scene to see. Absolutely beautiful. It's just so cool that we get to be able to come out and see this with our own eyes from so close. But yeah, Starship is the largest, most powerful rocket of all time, period. It is designed to bring humans back to the moon, but specifically to bring humans to Mars for the first time, and hopefully on a semi or permanent basis, semi-permanent basis. Um, so this vehicle is really designed to do a lot, but it actually does a lot more than that. It has a lot of implications for deploying satellites into low Earth orbit, or to deploy space stations in Earth orbit for science. And all of the science that we do up in low Earth orbit actually is directly applicable to us here on Earth. So we learn a lot up at the ISS right now that actually helps us here on Earth. And Starship's payload capacity, one Starship is like, I think it's around the payload capacity of the ISS, which is nuts. So we can have the ability to create massive stations on orbit and do a lot of science, which will really help move some of the research that we're doing in space forward and allow more accessibility to it. So very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. That's just a couple of the pros of Starship here. So we're really excited to see. Personally, we're really excited to see this program develop. But we want to try to inform you about what's happening down here, regardless of your stance, and make sure that you have any questions, and we're try to answer those for you. Obviously, we're pro Starship on our side, but like I said, we try to just give you straight information that you can make your own judgments on. But I think this is an amazing program for humanity here. So we're gonna get some great views of Booster 10 here shortly. El Hungaro is in chat. Thumbs up, says good morning, Andrew. Good morning, El Hungaro. Good to see you. Nice to hear from you. God D Usopp says hoping that next wet dress rehearsal will be a success. I agree, and I feel like it will be. I think it's very likely that whatever the reasons for the last couple partial wet dress rehearsals, I think they probably get that resolved, and they'll be we'll have a full wet dress here, maybe as soon as this upcoming week, which is crazy. Oh, some other kind of breaking news from here at Starbase. I'm sure you've heard if you follow this program, but the FAA has closed the mishap investigation for IFT2, or flight number 2 for Starship. So that's a huge step forward. So they came out with, I believe, 17 different mitigations that SpaceX will need to provide data saying that they've resolved those issues on for the next launch. So they've closed the mishap investigation. SpaceX now just needs to prove to FAA that the 17 issues that they had are now resolved, and we should see a launch license in the not too distant future. So we're really getting closer on the list of milestones needed before launch. So up in the air, we don't know if Ship 28 needs a static fire or not, but we'll just say that's one item. Full stack again, 2 items. Wet dress rehearsal, 3 items. Launch license, 4. And I'd say FTS install, 5. So there's like 5 things, and all of those can happen in pretty rapid succession. I'm just gonna hypothetically put a timeline out there. It probably won't happen this fast, but we could see road closures happen for Monday. Maybe they do a static fire Ship 28 Monday. Then we could see a stacking on Monday night, Tuesday morning. We could see a full wet dress rehearsal as early as Wednesday or Thursday. And that launch license, we don't really know how long that might take. But hypothetically, if SpaceX has already completed all of the mitigations that have been identified from the last flight, and they just need to provide the documentation, they could submit that sometime mid next week, and we could see a launch license come into, a week or 2 after that. So I think it's entirely possible that we still see this launch happen in March. Could happen somewhere mid to late March, in my opinion. Could happen earlier, but I don't necessarily see that timeline making it super likely that it's going to happen like the first week of March. But we would just have to find out. Anything's really possible. We're in that time span where things are going to happen quickly. So we just have to wait and see. Gonna try to see if I get any better angles of where Booster's at. Okay, it's getting close. It's getting close. Booster should be here in about 15 minutes, I would say. So it's hard to, the light actually should be starting to come up here. in the next 20, 30 minutes. So the timing should work out pretty well for Booster 10's arrival. We should get some daylight for it. But just, you can't even see it, but just past the furthest vehicle, the green blinking lights down there, there's a curve to the road. And it looks like that Booster 10 is probably like 200 or 300 yards past the curve. The booster's moving probably at about 2.5 miles per hour at the most. But yeah, it shouldn't take it very long to get here at all. So this is good. This is good. We're gonna get this done at the early beginning of this window, and then most likely I'm probably gonna head out of here as soon as it arrives and get back for a 7:30 Central Time meeting that I have. So that timing might cut it close. So I might have to take the meeting from here. We'll see. Luckily, we are equipped with Starlink, so this broadcast is being transmitted from my Jeep via Starlink up to Starlink satellites, bouncing around the satellites back down to an Earth, what do they call them? Earth station. There's a word that I don't remember what they're called, but basically the satellite will shoot it back down to like a central location back on Earth that is closest to you, and then it'll go into the main internet, and that's how you're getting this broadcast. Through space, which is really cool. Down here on Highway 4, down at the Starbase launch complex in the build site, there's really not great cell signal anywhere. I think there's a little bit of an AT&T signal. I have Verizon. There's really hardly any Verizon signal at all. Sometimes I'll even connect over to the Mexico cell towers. We're just about 2 miles from the Mexico border right now. So southern tip of Texas, East Coast, Gulf Coast, just about 2 miles from that Mexico border. I do just need a couple sips of water here. So give me a second. Now, I'm trying to stay in front of the camera as much as possible, just because in this lighting and with all these bright lights behind us, it's really hard for the camera to focus, and even going into manual focus, it's hard to get anything that looks half decent without me standing right in the camera here. So when I step off the camera for a couple minutes here just to get some water and stuff, you're not gonna have the greatest view. It might be out of focus and stuff. I'm just gonna let it be for a few seconds while I go get my water. So just stand by for a few seconds here. All right, I'm back. Check in with chat here. Looks like the booster is pretty close to the Gateway to Mars sign. So I should be able to start seeing it here. This is all going to happen pretty fast. I don't actually know if we're going to have daylight for its arrival. I thought for sure we would. But we're just going to have to do the best we can with the conditions that we have for this. So pretty soon, actually, I'm gonna step behind the camera, and I'm gonna try to start adjusting everything. I might want to do that now, actually. All right, let me do that now here, guys. Give me a second, just in case we get pushed back. I would hate to leave you with a kind of a crappy view. So. All right. So hopefully some of these vehicles will move out of the way when the booster is here. But you can see the booster starting to emerge. Hopefully my mic isn't cutting out. You can see the booster start to emerge behind Starhopper right now. I'll zoom in a little bit here for you, but it's gonna still be hard to see until it gets a little bit closer. But once it's pretty close right here on the highway, we should have some really good views. I must say though, I am a little bit disappointed that we're not getting a sunrise arrival here. We would have had much better video conditions, but that's all right. What are we gonna do? There is a drone up around the top of the booster right now. All right, let me start recording. All right, we are recording. I don't have a time lapse set up this time, but it's all right. Let me check in with chat here. Gadia Asup also has Starlink on order. Very cool, very cool. If you're just joining us, folks, my name is Andrew, and this is Rock Future. Starship Super Heavy Booster number 10 is just about to arrive to the launch complex, coming from the build site. So it is just passing the first entrance to the launch site now. It is going to come quite a bit closer here, and we're going to get a great view of Booster 10's arrival to the launch complex. The booster was shipped back to the production site not too long ago, a couple weeks ago at this point, or was it a week ago at this point? After what looked like some partial failures on wet dress rehearsal testing. So we don't exactly know what was going on there, but they kind of sent it back up to the build site to make some adjustments or changes. But it's great news that we're actually seeing that come back down to the launch site now. Hopefully, we'll see a full stack of Booster 10 and Ship 28. Honestly, could be as soon as today. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if they still want to try to static fire Ship 28. I just don't know. But we could potentially see a full stack again as soon as today. So we're just gonna hold tight. We'll have to leave Starbase today after this rollout completes for work, but we might have some more excitement coming in the next day or two. All right, we got some movement from emergency vehicles here. You can see Booster 10 kind of quickly approaching. All right, let's see if we end up getting pushed back here at all, or if we're gonna be safe. I think we might be good. They might ask us to go further back. We'll have to see. I'm going to jump in front of the camera one more time here just to give the final update here. All right, folks. As you can see, Booster 10 is right behind me. It is arriving to the launch complex now, so let's see. All right, some of these vehicles are moving out of the way. This is great. We're going to have a great shot here. Let's give you a little bit of a pan here. Of course, the lighting up there makes it hard to see the top, but we're going to have some great shots here as it arrives. I'm going to try to move us a little bit to the right. Oh, come on. Really? All right, as you can see, Booster 10 is right here behind me. It is about to turn right into the launch complex here at the Starbase launch complex. We got a nice up-close view. Like I said, sometimes I push a little further back, but today we got a nice, beautiful view of Booster 10 arriving. So I hope you enjoy. Good, good. Do wish that these lights next to me at this cop car were not there. They're causing a lot of lens flare, but it's all right. I might be able to move us a little further to the right. You're good right now. Was it the drone? SpaceX drone? Probably SpaceX drone. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. In its own way. I am, but they can't hear you. You're good. It's just mic proximity. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's online called Rocket Future. Yep. Yep. Rocketfuture.org, but we're on YouTube. Oh, nice. What's your name? Nice to meet you. Andrew. Yep. There are. Yep. A lot of us down here. Nice to meet you as well. Beautiful, beautiful views here of ship Booster 10. Yeah, it's not great, but it's. I wish it was a sunrise. Right. Beautiful. Yeah, that'll be cool. Very cool.
I keep looking at it, and then I decide to look up.
It just keeps going. Just keeps going.
see it sitting up there. I just think it could be bigger diameter. And I don't know the calculations, but they said they were thinking about going down to 3 millimeter, right?
Yeah.
And that dry mass would let them get. I don't know. It just
Yep.
but they could ship bigger diameter and just have an adapter.
Yeah, it's possible. I see a lot of second stages a little bit bigger than the first. All right, I'm gonna jump back in front of this camera here. You're good. Nice to meet you. All right, all right. Oh, our shutter speed. We need to make some adjustments here, but for now, let me just adjust the lighting. But yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed that. For anybody tuning in, my name is Andrew. This is Rocket Future. We just got an absolutely beautiful live stream of Booster 10 arriving back to the launch complex. I'll get the cameras back on Booster 10 here as we should see it start to head over to the OLM and launch tower. But that was great. Like I said, sometimes they push us pretty far back, but today we got a nice close view. I got some great pictures and videos with my phone as well. So I'll be posting those on the X and the Twitter and maybe some shorts here on YouTube as well. But great news that Booster 10 is now back at the launch complex. Hopefully we'll start to see a full stack preparations happen pretty soon here. Let me start adjusting shutter speeds and stuff here to make this a little bit of a smoother experience for y'all. That should be better. Yeah, so that was great. That was that was a lot of fun. That was a good rollout. I'm glad that it happened quickly. A lot of times we wait for these rollouts and they push it towards the end of the rollout window. Sometimes we see these intermittent road delays, canceled and rescheduled and canceled and rescheduled. And sometimes that starts to wear down on you. So I'm glad that they just got this thing right on the road here this morning as quickly as they could, and they've accomplished their task of getting the booster back down here to the pad. So this is great. So what is next? We don't quite know. I know the booster will make it to the OLM. It'll likely be stacked onto the launch mount. What's up for ship 28? Not entirely sure yet. Is it going to stay over where it is for some additional testing, or are they going to move it over to stack on booster 10? I personally think they're going to move it over to stack, but we'll just have to wait and see if that comes to fruition or not. Just making sure that truck isn't going to sideswipe the Starlink. It was kind of close. But yeah, great news. So if you joined us a little bit earlier, we kind of ran through the milestones that are still required for launch day. Booster 10 is back down here, which is great. So let's just talk about that. Potential, still a possibility that we see a static fire ship 28, but I don't know if we're going to see that or not. But let's just count it. Ship 28 static fire, full stack, wet dress rehearsal, launch license, FTS install. So those can all happen in pretty quick succession. Most of those, aside from the launch license, could literally happen in the next week or two. It might not happen that fast, but it is possible that it happens that fast. And we really don't know how long it'll take for that launch license modification. Like I said earlier, if SpaceX has already fixed the list of 17 things that the FAA has outlined from Flight 2, they just need to submit the paperwork to the FAA. FAA needs to look through that, make sure it makes sense, check it off, and move on with a launch license. So it could be days, it could be weeks, and potentially it could be months. But I don't think we're going to get into that situation for this Flight 3. I think we're really looking pretty well here for middle end of March. Worst case scenario, maybe early April, but I'm really hoping for March. First week of April, I'm scheduled to be in Vermont and I'm supposed to be bringing all the streaming stuff so we can do a live stream of the total solar eclipse. We're gonna have an awesome time up in Vermont. So the eclipse that we did on the channel a couple months ago, that was an annular eclipse, so it wasn't totality. We should get some absolutely insane views of totality as long as the cloud cover works out for us. So again, that's April 8th, I believe, right? So let's hope that there's no launch conflict between the launch and the eclipse. We'll have to make some difficult decisions if that day comes and if there's any conflicts there. It would be pretty cool though. Even here in Brownsville, it's supposed to be like an 80 or 90% eclipse, I believe. And don't get me wrong, the difference between 80, 90% and totality is night and day, literally almost. You have to get into the path of totality to get the full experience. It's really crazy. But if there was a launch on Eclipse Day down here, that would be a hard decision to fly up to Vermont for. So we'll have to see. Let's hopefully that's not. How about now? Let me know if you can hear me now. I'm gonna scrub back to see how long it's been like that. 8 minutes ago we were good. 5 minutes ago we were good. All right, 2 minutes ago we were good. So it sounds like I just maybe hit the power button. I'm hoping it's not dying. So let me know if that happens again. I'm gonna start moving my camera in case people need to move out of here. So let's do that now. We should get some absolutely insane views of totality as long as the cloud cover works out for us. So again, that's April 8th, right? All right, now I'm a little bit less in the way. If anybody needs to kind of pull out of here. So mic is still good. Sorry, you can probably hear my audio from this too. I was just checking to make sure the mic is good. God DU sub says good. David says yep, okay. Stephanie B says 5x5. Thanks everybody for letting me know that we had that problem. Okay, let me show you what's happening right now with Booster 10. I'm gonna have to adjust some stuff here for you to actually see it. It's making its very quick way over to the pad. I'm almost thinking maybe we need to drive down the street a little bit here to get a view of them lifting it in case that happens really quickly. Let's see, what time is it? 6. I have about a half hour before I need to get out of here. Um, do we move? Do we move? I almost think we move up the street a little bit here. What do you guys think? All right. Hey, give us 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. We're gonna break the camera down just for a second. We're gonna drive up the street just a little bit, and we're gonna get you a better view of the pad here. So give us 2 minutes. You're gonna see a starting soon screen, but we'll be back up in just a couple minutes. So stand by. We may also get disconnected briefly for these couple minutes while I move, so let me put the mic down. Oh, we are so fogged up. I need to clear some of this fog before I drive. Okay, if you're still with us, if you can still hear me, I am setting everything back up now. So give me a minute. Testing. All right, we are back. We have audio, we have video. I do need to adjust the camera a little bit more. I just wanted to get it set up quickly. 6:10 a.m. So yeah, like I said, I don't want to get anybody's hopes up for a stacking of or a lift of booster, because I can't stay here very long because I have some work commitments. So we might just hang out for a little bit, 20 minutes, see what happens, and then maybe roll. There we go. That's the shot right there. That's pretty good. So if you're just joining us, we just relocated a little bit further down Highway 4. We just saw a beautiful rollout of booster number 10 back to the launch site, which is great to see. Welcome in, everybody. The sun is just, it's not rising yet. Well, technically it is, but I don't see it yet. But the daylight is just starting to break, which is nice. I think I'm going to crack open this coffee now. If anybody is enjoying their morning coffee, cheers to you. Not a bad way to spend the morning hours here. Oh, cable down, cable down. There we go. Trying to figure out a good place to keep the mic cable. How about that? We'll try that. Oh, I have an idea for the future. I could run a cable. Ah, okay. I think I figured out a more permanent way to mount the microphone adapter. While we're hanging here, while I'm gonna crack open this coffee, I'm gonna also look through a couple of the pictures and videos I took of Booster 10 and try to get them up online right now. You may have noticed we're back down to one camera. You know, sometimes we do the split screen, one for commentary, one for whatever we're looking at. But yeah, I decided that we are returning that second camera that I got that we've been using at Isablanca recently. It's just not cutting it on quality. I don't want to be spending money on a product that I'm not happy with. It's you know, some of the funds for that camera were raised from members of this channel, and the last thing I want to do is have folks be generous and help donate to help us continue to improve our equipment, and then we just have like a subpar camera quality. I don't understand. It's an inexpensive camera. It has the exact feature set we need. It wasn't cutting it, so we're returning that one and trying to find something better. Booster 10 is well almost within the chopsticks now. Good news, though, we did figure out a new Starlink plan. So we are on priority for not much more than we're paying for regular. So we should have a lot lower uh, uh, frame drop now. I think we're at like 2% right now, which is beautiful. Oh, this coffee is hitting the spot. This is good. All right, let me see what I got for shots on booster 10. I'm also going to check the audio. Nice. Got some couple of decent shots. It's so hard with all the lights when it's a night rollout, but we got some good ones. Balint is in chat. Balint, good to see you. Balint says, "Good morning, Andrew. Thanks for streaming. Last rollout of B10, hopefully." My pleasure. I'm happy to be bringing this content to y'all. And I agree. I hope this was the last rollout for Booster 10. We do not want to see that go back to the build site. I think everything at this point forward, hopefully they should be able to do here at the launch site, unless anything, turns up in testing. But I think the next thing we need to see happen to Booster 10, after wet dress and all that stuff, is FTS install, and I think they'll be doing that down here. So let's hope. Let's hope there's no more trips to the launch complex for it. I'm sorry, to the build site. We hope it stays at the launch complex until it is no longer. I can't wait to see this thing get off the ground. I really think SpaceX is going to nail this third flight. I think we're going to see the booster land back in the Gulf. Whether it's a soft landing or not, I don't know, but I feel like it's going to survive, making it back down to the surface of the Gulf. Starship, I really hope to see make it all the way to the point where it's supposed to re-enter. Whether it makes through re-entry or not, we will find out, but I would be happy with the result of Booster 10 finding its way back to the surface of the Gulf in one piece, and Starship making it to its point of re-entry. That would be a win in my book. Let me update our headline here. Probably have to update our scroller at the bottom too, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. People watching from home, is there a very, very small border at the top of the screen and on the rightmost side of the screen? Let me know if you can barely see a border at the top and right of the screen. If so, I can try to fix that. I don't know if it's on my side or if that's in reality. Yeah, we got 1.8% frame drop, which is great for Starlink. I think there's no border. I'm at PC at home. Okay, cool. I think it's just an OBS thing then. I'm going to check my meeting list for today. Trying to see if it makes sense just to work from here this morning and keep a stream up while I'm working. But I don't know if that's possible. But let me check my schedule. I need my backpack. Where's my backpack? Oh, yeah. It's getting brighter out here now. Oh, here's my backpack. Keep a close eye on those chopsticks, guys. See if they start closing in on the booster. And listen to Nightbot as well. Don't forget to like, subscribe, chat, and share. All of these things help the channel grow and reach more folks like you. Balint says no visible border on Android YouTube app. Okay, definitely an OBS thing then. Cool. I need to shut my wipers off here. All right, let's see. Let me connect into Starlink here. Checking my work schedule. All right, so I have a meeting in about an hour. Let's say the 28th. Then I have another meeting at 2. The other problem is I don't have any food here. Here's the plan. I'm going to take my 7:30 meeting from here. So we're going to hang out here for a little bit. At least we're going to hang out for another hour and see if it looks like there's any indication of a lift. I don't know how much later than 8 a.m. I can stay. That's going to depend on work and hunger and all sorts of things. I have I got a full work day worth of stuff to do today. So if I am here working, we're gonna keep the stream up just to see if we get a lift, and then we'll see how long we can hang out. I'll have to make it back before that 2 p.m. meeting. So I think the latest we'd probably stay is noon. But we'll see if we can even make that long. All right, let me switch this thing over to auto now. Let's see if this thing can handle the light change coming up. Yeah. Good. Better color temperature this way. It's going to be a little dark for a little bit, but I think this is the way to go. Oh, actually, you know what? Not yet. The focus is still in and out. Let me go back to manual for a little bit longer. Let me just get that manual focus adjusted there. Another 10 or 15 minutes. It should be fine. Let me just make sure I have everything I need for work here. I have headset, I have laptop, I have power, I have internet. So we shall see, we shall see. When it gets a little bit brighter, I'm gonna do a little bit of a monologue. I'm gonna get in front of the camera and just tell folks what we've seen today, and I'm just gonna record that little blip just to put onto Twitter and stuff. So I'll do that in a little while. The moon is looking cool. You see that moon up there? Let me zoom out so you can see this moon. It's not gonna look great on. I don't know if I keep shutting the mic off accidentally or if the batteries are dying. I'm gonna specifically keep my hand off of that button and see if it happens again. If it does, we will swap the batteries. Yeah, that's something that I don't want to happen during like launch day or something. Still getting used to this new mic. All right. Switching back to auto on the camera just to adjust for these lighting conditions. So we'll see if it can handle the focus right now. It's still just not enough light for it really to know what it's doing with the focus. It's gonna be close though in the next couple of minutes. I think I'll probably just leave it. I love that lighting right now. That looks cool. I need to take a picture of this. If anybody has any questions in chat, please feel free to drop those questions in chat. If you are watching on YouTube and you're noticing that you're unable to chat in our chat section, that is because we require a subscription to chat. So that is not paid. That does not cost you money. That simply just means that you've logged in to YouTube. you've clicked the subscribe button. And that is an easy way for us to just reduce spam in chat. And it helps allow people to be aware of when we're hosting events related to Starbase. So if you can't chat, that is why. Man, this lighting just looks so perfect. I need to see if I can get a good shot of this. I think I just got a really cool shot. I'm gonna post it on X right now. All right, the camera's doing a little bit better with the auto right now. It'll continue to improve. What's up, man? Good morning. Good to see you. All right, I'm gonna shut down the laptop for now. The not our stream, but my work laptop, just to conserve some battery there. Balint says the restaurant or the store will help eventually, right? Let's hope they build it fast. It'll be nice to be able to get some food out there. Yeah. So I think there's still some questions about whether or not that's going to be public. I personally think it will be. I think that is going to be public. I really hope it's going to be public, but that is going to be awesome. Having a place to go. I think there's going to be a grocery store too. A place to go and grab coffee, some food. Hopefully there'll be public restrooms. Just 15 minutes up the street or so. That is going to be amazing. Especially if there's a place to work there. That would be so sick. I'm actually really looking forward to that. I hope. Yeah. I could be down here a lot more often. And for example, if there's a good place to work there, I could just go work there a lot of days. That way, if there's anything exciting happening, I'll be in pretty close proximity, and I can just dive down here as quickly as I can. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that. All right, which of these videos should I post? That one or... I'm gonna post this one. All right, lighting is good. Lighting is good. Nice view of the hot stage ring on top of the booster right now. Of course, we know that is a relatively new addition to the Starship full stack. It was used on the last flight, so not too many concerns about its feasibility anymore. I think they've proven it once, and they can prove it again. Let's get a nice zoomed in shot of that. Why don't we? Of course, that is the hot stage ring that we're talking about. Above those black grid fins, where those slatted the the ring of metal that has all those holes in it, basically, that is the hot staging ring. That allows the second stage of the Starship vehicle, the actual Starship, to ignite its engines just a fraction of a moment, fraction of a second before stage separation. That allows there to be continuous thrusting through the entire ascent phase of the vehicle, with no moment of no ignition. So it really helps with efficiency and everything. So it's really cool to see. So basically, those holes allow all the exhaust gases to get out of the vehicle and not cause an overpressure event between the two vehicles, which would be bad. I'm getting stoked for Flight 3. I don't know if y'all are, but the excitement just hit me. It feels like it's happening. This is a beautiful sunrise out here. I'm keeping a close eye on those chopsticks to see if we end up seeing them move. So let's keep an eye on them for a few minutes here. I wonder what the temperature is going to be out here today. Space Junkie is in the house. Space Junkie says, "Hey everyone, great coverage as always. Thank you. Go third test flight." Thank you, Space Junkie. Thank you, Space Junkie community as well. Good to see y'all here. Happy to provide the coverage. Getting excited for this next flight. I think I need to spend more mornings out here. This is gorgeous. I'm really happy about this wireless mic. I'm still enjoying using it. Still working out any kinks with it, but I think we're kind of there. I think we've kind of figured most of it out. The only thing I do want to figure out is a way to mount the adapter, the actual wireless receiver, on my Starlink pole somewhere, so that we get full view of the receiver from all directions. And make setup a little bit easier. So I got to figure that out. That shouldn't be too hard at all. I can probably 3D print something. But I think that would be good to have. I think we're putting it through its paces, so I think at this point, I know its limitations. Other than a couple times accidentally shutting it off, I got to practice on that, make sure that doesn't happen. But I think we're pretty much ready for flight day. I think this mic is officially tested enough for flight day. Really excited to also return that second camera so we can try something else. I want to get back to providing two different views of what's happening down here. I'd like to give a tight shot like we see now, but also on the right hand side, I'd like to also have a wider shot. So we're gonna try to make that order today. I have to decide what we want to do for that second camera. It's a little bit complicated. The one that we got, like I said a little bit earlier, is not up to the quality we want, which is really unfortunate because it has the exact feature set we want. And I am not able to find anything else that is as well-rounded as that camera for what we need. But like I said, if it's not it for quality, then we can't do it. So I think we're gonna have to basically figure out what the next solution is that has the least amount of downsides. So I think most likely what we're gonna do is go with another camera similar to our main camera here, but maybe one or two notches down. But the downside of that is, rather than it being a single cable solution, like our second camera usually is always one single cable for power and data, we'll be back up to two cables. We'll need HDMI as well as power. Our main camera here is like 5-hour battery life. I think the one we're looking at swapping to only is like an hour, so we'll have to keep it plugged in pretty much all the time, which is a pain. Speaking of which, let me check our battery level on this camera right now because I was not able to get this full charge. It's pretty low. Let me plug that in now. I have to make a slight camera adjustment here. Bear with me. All right. Camera is now plugged in, so we shouldn't have any cameras go out. So yeah, it's gonna suck having to go from a single cable camera to a dual cable camera. I always try to simplify our setup. I never try to make it more complicated. The simplest setups work the best. They have the least amount of issues, quicker setup time. It's just I don't think that there's another solution that I've been able to find yet. So it is what it is. Another quick reminder for anybody watching on Facebook or X or Twitch or Kick, we are live on all of these platforms simultaneously. Right now, I am only checking on chat on YouTube. That is something that I will work on for future streams. I don't know if it'll be ready for the next stream, but something I'm working on is getting the chat visible from all of the streams. So that's where we're at with that. But if you want to chat with us, YouTube is the best place to do it right now. We're keeping an eye on those chopsticks to see if they're being adjusted. I do think if somebody is able to do an A/B test and just kind of scroll back and scroll forward a little bit, let me know if that right chopstick has moved in. I think it has. And then we'll see if the left one starts to adjust as well. That would be an indication that maybe there's a chance that they go for a lift of this thing this morning. Shut the Jeep off. We don't need the Jeep running right now. I'm gonna adjust the camera here, and I'm gonna record a quick update that I can post to Twitter and places. So let me just make some adjustments here. Probably don't want that dumpster in the shot. That's pretty good right there. Let me turn this. Let me hit record. All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Andrew, and this is Rocket Future. Just wanted to provide you with a quick update of what's happening down here at Starbase today. Booster 10 has made its way from the build site down to the launch complex. This is great news and hopefully a sign that if there was any issues that led them to bring Booster 10 back to the build site, then it looks like they probably resolved those and they're going to undergo some testing here, hopefully in coming days to kind of validate the changes that they've made. So very good. We're going to hope to see maybe a lift this morning. We're not sure, but we're going to hang out for a little bit to see if there's any indication of that. But in the meantime, we're just hanging out and enjoying ourselves here. So we got live streams going on right now, so feel free to check those out. And that's it. All right, I'm gonna clip that and then I'm gonna post that. So let me just check the framing on it real quick before I say for sure. That's it. It's moved in this morning. I might actually do that one more time. A little too far away. I'm gonna just test before I start recording again with the framing here. I think I need to bring it down a notch. All right, I think this is good. All right, let me hit record, and I'm just gonna go through that spiel one more time. Good morning, everybody. My name is Andrew, and this is Rocket Future. We currently have a live broadcast up from Starbase right now. We just had a beautiful rollout of Booster 10 from the build site down here to the launch site, which hopefully is a good indication that if they ran into some issues during the wet dress rehearsals recently, that those issues are resolved. So it's back down here. That's great, and hopefully we'll see some testing in the coming days. So we're live right now, potentially waiting to see a lift this morning. We're not positive, but we're going to hang out and wait to see. So check out the stream. We're live on YouTube, X, Facebook, Twitch, and more. So thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, that should be good. I'm going to post that now. And then I'll adjust the camera back up here in a second. Just give me a quick moment. Where do those recordings go again? Videos. Today is the 28th, so that should be this one here. If we make it through our, I said a little bit ago that I'm gonna jump onto a work meeting at 7:30 Central Time. If we make it through that meeting and then there's no chopstick movement, we'll probably head out after that. Um, and it's entirely possible that we'll miss a lift today, but that's okay. We got to do it. Andrew Paris is in chat saying, "Howdy, Lambda. How's it going? Good to see you, Titan. Hope all is well. Good to see you. Gorgeous morning down here at Starbase today." Starbase is or Starlink is struggling a little bit, so we might have had a little bit of a buffer there. Jeff is saying exposure is washed out. Really? I think it looks pretty good on my side. Oh yeah, I guess maybe a little bit. Chase training, March 9. Ooh, nice. Are you going on this one too? How many people are doing it this time around? That's gonna be awesome. Just a little, gotcha. I'm gonna let the sun rise a little bit here, and then we can make some adjustments. You're an instructor this time. That's awesome. At some point, hopefully in a future one, I'd like to make it. I'd like to do the training, but also I'd like to do video, so we can post the video to the I-24 YouTube and everything. I think it'd be really cool to have a little bit of a highlights reel for that. Excited? I'm not surprised. That's awesome. I can't wait to do something like that. Got to get that training in. We got a great view of the ship quick disconnect right now. I'm going to zoom in on that. Talk to you soon, Titan. Class 3, late summer, early fall. Hopefully, maybe I can make that one. We shall see. Sun is definitely rising now. Let me pan down a little bit here. I still feel like the right chopstick has moved, but the left, I don't know if it has. I guess I could do a little bit of an A/B test myself here on my phone. Yeah, looking back through the footage, I don't know if the chopsticks have moved. So current plan, as of right now, is to hang out here for a half hour, and then I'm going to take a meeting from here. So I'll stop commentary, and I'll jump on a meeting for 10, 15 minutes. And we're going to then kind of take a look at if any changes have happened, if the chopsticks have moved, if there's been any pad announcements. And if there's no update at that time, we're probably going to head out of here and get back home for the workday. If they have some updates, if the chopsticks have closed, if I hear any indication of a potential lift this morning, then we might hang around a little bit longer, depending on some other factors as well. For example, I don't have any food out here at the moment, so we're going to have to see how I'm feeling, and a couple other things as well to consider. Like I said, I do have a full workday today, so if I'm here, then I'm going to be basically intermittent on commentary, mostly going to be working. So we'll just have to see how this goes. But we're here for another half hour, 45 minutes at least. I just saw a post from last night about a potential collision. Um, it looked like there was going to be potentially a chance that two satellites could collide that NASA was tracking. I have not seen the update on it to whether or not there was a collision, but I'm very interested in hearing the results to see if they ended up hitting each other or not. Looks like we're slightly tilted here. I'm gonna see if I can fix that for you. I'm gonna also pan over the sunrise for a second here. Hopefully not burn out my lens. Maybe that's a bad idea. Maybe I'm not gonna do that. Really, really nice sunrise though. Mark's photo and video says LR11K in position to hook up to ship 28. So we're talking about the crane that's over near the suborbital pad. So it sounds like it is in position to potentially lift 28 off the pad, put it on transport to hopefully ship it to the OLM. It's also possible that it could go to build site, but I don't think so. I think it's probably going to go for another full stack here soon, but we'll find out. Whether that happens today or not, we are not sure. Eldico, if I'm pronouncing that right, is saying hello from Hungary. Welcome, and thank you for tuning in from Hungary. Very cool. Good to see you. A lot of hazy days recently here in South Texas. As if you've watched any of the testing streams from Isla Blanca Park, you'll see that we've definitely had some haze issues lately. So I'm hoping that I think there's potentially some storms coming in this week. Hopefully that will be a cold front or something that'll come in and kind of clear out the air. Especially if there's more testing to come up next week. Potential wet dress rehearsal, that type of stuff. We want to have clear views of those testing. So I'm really hoping that the air clears up here in the next few days. But we'll have to see. Sometimes it stays in this kind of hazy thing for weeks on end. The days are getting warmer. The winter is definitely, whatever you can consider a winter here, is definitely coming to an end. So those clear days are also going to be less and less frequent. Elevator going down the tower. So apparently there was some folks up there working. So just hypothetical here, if there were some people up there working, they probably wouldn't be adjusting things like the chopsticks. Elevators coming down, so potentially if they wanted to adjust those chopsticks, they might be able to do that now that the people are coming off the tower. But we don't know if that's in the plan for this morning or not. So we very well might not see that happen immediately. We might see people go back up. Just don't know. Mark's photos and videos says, oh, and by the way, good morning from Virginia. Thanks for tuning in from Virginia too. Very cool, Mark's. Can I just call you Mark? Is that okay? Big fan of Virginia, actually. I loved seeing Antares launches at Wallops from the old NASA ferry dock. Great place to view a launch. You can get nice and close, beautiful shots. But Antares is unlikely to fly ever again in its previous configuration. I think development has been taken over. Who took over development again? Was it Firefly? But yeah, basically there's going to be a U.S. version of the Antares rocket now. They had to basically, I guess, stop production of what we now know as an Antares because of national relations and the fact that parts came from Ukraine, parts came from Russia. A hard supply to keep up with current current ongoing events, as we know. But the good news is Rocket Lab is launching some Electron rockets from Virginia, and they are planning to launch their Neutron rocket from Virginia at some point as well. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Neutron is quite a bit more thrust and power than the Antares. So if that's true, I'd have to double check myself there, but if that's true, that means there's going to be some awesome launch viewing opportunities from Virginia in the next couple of years. All right, I finished my coffee, which is a sad moment every day. You always wanted to go see a launch there. You definitely should, especially when Neutron starts launching. You have to go see it. Keeping a very close eye on that left chopstick mostly. See if we see any movement from it. And Mark says they also want to see, or Mark says they also want to see a launch from Texas. Absolutely. I'm going to sneeze here. Excuse me. Yeah, come down and see a Starship launch. It's literally one of the coolest things you could ever see. Very, very awesome stuff. I'll zoom out here and give us a little bit of a different view for a little bit here. Focus. Focus, focus, focus. What are you doing? Camera focus is off a little bit there. Still kind of soft. Let me fix that here. Zolt is here. Zolt, welcome in. Welcome in. Good morning. Well, I guess it's probably not your morning over there, right? Thank you for being a member of our channel, Zolt. Good to see you. Happy to have you here. Mark says, have they solved the issues with Booster 10? I think it is very likely that they have. I think it's a great sign that we have seen Booster 10 arrive back at the launch complex today, and I think that's a good indication that SpaceX took a look at whatever was going on with it during the wet dress rehearsals and resolved those. So of course they won't know for sure that those issues are resolved until they go through the testing again. But the fact that it's back down here at the pad now is a great indication that they probably believe that they have solved those issues, whatever they might have been. No problem. No problem, Zolt. Good to see you. Zoom in here for a second. Just checking focus. Still no obvious movement from the chopsticks. There's somebody on the pad right now. There's somebody on the OLM. Possibly doing checks of the OLM before a lift. We just don't know. That's what I'm hoping, though. Still feel like our focus is kind of soft. The only downside to this camera is we don't really have a great viewfinder, which is really unfortunate. So it's hard to really see how the focus is. I'm hearing some maybe jackhammering or something over at the pad. Not like on the pad, obviously, but somebody's doing some work somewhere. Jeff, it is a Panasonic X1500. And focus looks sharp on the camera. But when I go back over and look at it on the screen, it doesn't look so sharp. I think it's all right, though. I think what's happening is the bright glare from the sun is kind of impacting it. Just kind of standing here and taking all of this in. Always great to be down here. Tell you, booster 10 is looking good. Mark, I have not had good luck with GoPros. I probably won't add any GoPros. I really don't think that they're good for live streaming. In my opinion, the cameras that I'm using are way better than the quality that you're gonna get from a GoPro. That's a personal preference, but all right, I'm gonna switch back over to manual here and adjust some stuff. Give me a second while you get blown out here. And then I'm gonna adjust some stuff manually. I'm not happy with what the autofocus is doing right now. I had it on auto just because easier to deal with some of these light changes as the sun rises. But not happy with it right now. All right. That should now be crisp, clear focus. Yeah, that looks way better. Mark says if you set it to 60 frames per second, 120 and 240, then yes, will overheat. So yeah, 60 won't overheat as much. Yeah, good point, Jeff. Right now it's not bad, but in the summer, it gets over 100 here very frequently. My phone overheats just from existing down here sometimes. But yeah, I've honestly, again, personal preference, but I have never been a fan of the quality that I get out of GoPros. They hold up though. They really do hold up. As far as, just not breaking. Mark says, "Don't get me wrong, but I like other cameras as well. Sony is one of them." Yeah, Sony makes excellent cameras. I'm a huge fan of this Panasonic that I'm using. Like I said, couple limitations, but it's got built-in lens cover, so I can just slide this, and the lens will be protected. It has built-in ND filters. It has three built-in ND filters, so I can just flip a switch and it'll switch between 3 ND filters. It has basically professional level color. Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? So obviously we have 4K capabilities, 60 frames a second capabilities, but then we have the color. What the heck is it called? But basically, we can set this thing so it has it takes in so many more colors. If I want to do like a really high quality 4K shot, and I have the sky behind it, and I don't want to see any of that banding from the color gradient in the sky, this has enough color options to kind of help reduce that, which is awesome. I don't know what the heck the word I'm thinking of is, but I'm sure y'all know. 2 SD cards, 5-hour battery life, mic input, remote input, USB input, full-size HDMI, headphone monitors. Obviously, we got hot shoe on both top and bottom, I believe. It's good. Just a couple small downsides to it, but everything else is great. Jeff has an A6700 and loves it. But yeah, I've been very happy with this. The only thing I do need to do though is practice more with it and how to set color temperature and color grading in manual mode. I don't love how it works with color temperatures. 5K and 8K. That would be amazing. Yeah. I haven't seen the need yet. So many people, a lack of people have anything above a 4K display at this point. At some point though, we'll make that happen. YouTube hasn't reached that point yet. Yeah, that'll be awesome when we get to that point. That'll be great. What is this person doing? Why do they have to park so close to me? That's all right. We have a whole road here, but that's okay. Still taking a close look at the chopsticks. Not yet seeing any indication of them closing. What time is it here? I got a meeting soon. I got a meeting in 5 minutes. Jeff says, I'm sure Cosmic Perspective have uploaded an 8K. Probably. I'm not positive, but I wouldn't be surprised. They definitely have the cameras to do it. Let's see. I should probably start getting ready for this meeting in about 5 minutes. The meeting's in 10 minutes. Yeah, in 5 minutes I'll start getting ready for it. Absolutely, Mark. You should come on down. It's a beautiful place to be. So much time can be spent here at Starbase with just enjoying the views. It's a great place to visit. Highly recommended. Okay, so I'm gonna start preparing for a meeting that I have. It won't be very long, 10-15 minutes. And then I'll decide whether or not after that meeting if we're gonna hang out here for a bit or go home. Either way, whether I stay here or go home, I'll be working, so probably won't be as on commentary so much. Here's a question for you. While I'm in the meeting for the next 10 or 15, do you want a wide shot like we have now, Or do you want me to zoom in a bit? Just not a ton, but do you want me to zoom in a bit so we get a closer shot on the top of the booster and the two chopsticks? Do you want a wide shot or a tight shot? Mark says tight shot. Let's make it happen. How's that? Look how this a ship quick disconnect is catching light. Yeah, I saw that earlier. It was very cool. I zoomed in on it a little bit a while ago. If you want to pan back or scrub backwards and find that, we can take another look at it in a bit. But okay, so I am going to put my microphone down on the back of the Jeep here, so you guys continue to have ambient audio, and I'll take my meeting. Yeah, I'll take my meeting. Salt agrees for the tight shot. Yeah, we'll leave it like this. Okay, so I will talk to y'all in probably 10 or 15 minutes. So I will be back, but enjoy my views here in the meantime. I think I have a noise gate on the mic. Let me shut that off. There we go. Testing. Testing, testing, testing. All right. Checking back in with chat here. Mark says no movement on the sticks yet, probably because the booster is not fully in position. Question mark. Mark also says that it appears to be that I think they're removing the scaffolding. Not quite sure. They very well might be. I did see them lift something into the OLM, and it is now being, the crane is now lifting again. Let's see what's on there. So there's definitely there's a bin of something that they removed, I think. But they can lift the booster onto the pad with the scaffolding attached. But it's possible that they could remove it. I'm wondering what's being removed right now. But let's see what else we got. Gabor is here, says, what tolerance can chopsticks lift? Are you talking about wind, maybe? Mark says the chopsticks are designed to lift the booster in ships. I wonder if maybe Gabor is asking about wind or not. But yeah, they're definitely removing some stuff from the OLM. Is that scaffolding that they're putting into that yellow bag? They might be doing the scaffolding now, maybe. It's hard to tell, but they
Taking the scaffolding down?
maybe. I couldn't tell what, but so the crane here lifted like a yellow carrying thing, put it in the center of the OLM, and then they put a bunch of stuff in it and removed it. I don't know what that stuff was, but
I thought you meant the upper scaffold.
oh, gotcha.
The other day, they were taking down scaffold, and they must have took the inside down and left the outside. We have that big yellow pan. I think's the tray they put the scaffolding
Gotcha.
in.
So I think maybe that's what they might be removing the OLM scaffolding now, which would be a good sign.
And I guess there might be scaffold down inside that we can't see.
Yeah.
They might leave that outer ring on. Yeah,
True.
I bet you're right. 'Cause I saw that.
Right. Just chatting with Calvin here. Detroit Mission Control is in the house. Welcome. So yeah, like I was saying before my meeting there, I am now going to kind of try to think about my plan for this morning to see if it makes sense for me to go back now or if it makes sense for me to wait a while. But if they are removing scaffolding, that will take them some time, I'd say at least an hour, probably more than an hour. It would be nice to see a lift, but I think it's going to be probably our best bet to head back home here shortly for all of our meetings today. Let's see, it's 8:06 now. We'll make a decision by 8:15. We'll make our decision here in about 10 minutes. Yeah, so I think, all right, I think I figured out what we're going to do. So just looking at a couple things here. Okay, so I think at 8:20 we're going to wrap things up for now. We're going to hang out for another 10, 12 minutes and take a look at what they're doing on the OLM here and see if there's any movement of the chopsticks. But barring any major updates, we're going to start breaking the stream down at 8:20 in about 10 minutes. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go home, and I am going to knock out my work day. I'm going to go and do everything that I have to do for work today and attend the meetings that I need to attend. But I'm also going to keep an eye on the activity here at the launch complex. If I can get through some of my meetings and I can get some of my deliverables done today, what I could potentially do, depending on timing and depending on what happens at work today, I may be able to take a break at some point if it looks like we might have a lift imminent. Or maybe, let's just hypothetically say maybe Booster 10 gets to the pad, and then maybe they start to move Ship 28 over to the pad as well. If there's an indication of maybe that happening later, maybe I can make it back down here. But I'm just going to have to play it by ear. And obviously I need enough heads up for whatever the activity might be for me to be able to drive here in time. So we'll have to see. I'll just take it hour by hour, and we'll see if there's any indication of anything happening today. I expect B10 to make it on the pad sometime today. Whether it's going to be in the next 2 hours or tonight, we just don't know yet. But if there's any chance for me to be able to come back down here and get the coverage of them lifting the booster onto the pad, I will do my best. But right now, it looks like they're working within the OLM. You can see that carrier. They keep loading this yellow carrier into the center of the OLM and then lifting stuff out of the OLM. I imagine that might be scaffolding. So I don't know how long this process takes. Yeah, so that's where we're at. Got to get some work done, and we'll see if we can make it back down here for the lift. We're talking about Starship versioning in the chat. Yeah, it sounds like the next version of Starship might be stretched. It might be a little bit taller. And I'm sure there's some other major differences as well. I wonder if the next version of Starship is going to have Raptor 3s. It might not, though. It might not. But yeah, I'm very curious to see when we're going to get an extended ship for the first time. I don't think any of the current ships that are under construction are the new version of the ship. We have a super chat from El Hungaro. Thank you very much, El Hungaro, for the super chat. We appreciate that very much. And we'll make sure that we put that to good use and put it right back into the channel. So thank you so much for that. Very generous of you. Ship 32 is the last of version 1. Got it. So after Ship 32, we should start to see some obvious changes to make the next version of the Starship. My question is, how many of these are going to fly before we switch over to the next version of Starship? Are we going to fly them all? We'll have to see. The sun is starting to kick up. Oh, speaking of which, it's probably a good thing that I do head home here shortly. I don't have any sunscreen on me, and during the spin prime test of Ship 28 last week, we got a little bit of a sunburn. So I need to get some sunscreen if I come back out here today or tomorrow or whenever. I'm loving being on base right now, so I'm thinking we'll see how today goes, but I'm expecting to come back here at some point after I get my work done. Ship 29 is currently in the left-hand corner of the high base, says Mark. In the front. El Hungaro says, I have a ton of charisma. Hope I land a great job on radio or TV or communicator or something. Thank you for that. I appreciate that, El Hungaro. I don't know if I specifically have a goal to make it on TV or radio or anything like that. But if we can continue growing Rocket Future, or I also would love to collaborate with other space channels, that would be awesome. That would be really cool. I would also at some point like to do travel vlogging, or not travel vlogging, but travel streaming, IRL streaming while I'm traveling to places. That's in parallel with Rocket Future. That is not, instead of Rocket Future. So I think I'm gonna actually start that this year. So if there's any travel that I'm doing at some point this year, I'm gonna try to start doing live streams of those. Those will be on a separate channel. Sunscreen and pony kegs. I am very excited for March 30th. I think March 30th was the final day of my my little healthy sprint, whatever the heck you want to call it. So I haven't had a drink in over a month at this point, and then I'm going until March 30th, and then I'll be able to celebrate and have a drink on March 30th. So it'll be good. But it was a nice little break here. Give the stomach and the liver a little break. I do that a couple times a year. El Hungaro says, go for it. Yeah, I'm excited to do that. I'm going to stay down here, Starbase, for a while. Foreseeable future, continue documenting what's happening here at Starbase and Starship. In parallel, if I do any traveling, I'll do some live streaming of the traveling on another channel, and that sounds like a fun way to spend time between those two things. Obviously, I have a full-time job as well, but that's those three things sound like a lot of fun. So we're gonna make that happen this year. But we're gonna go really hard at Rocket Future the first half of this year. Hopefully we'll have a lot of launches this year. A lot of fun stuff coming up. Thank you, El Hungaro. I will, when I start doing those streams, I'm sure I'll post about it somewhere. I'll probably post about it like once on all the platforms. I'll let people know, and I'll just say, hey, if you like watching the Rocket Future streams, I'm also doing some travel streams, so make sure you check it out at this other channel or whatever. So I'll let people know. I'm trying to think if I have anything booked right now that I can do that for. I have the eclipse in April. I don't know if that's going to be an optimal time to do. Obviously, we're going to be live streaming the eclipse. That'll be a Rocket Future stream on April 8th, I believe. I'm trying to think if there's anything on that trip that we can. Maybe we can do like a day IRL walking around Boston or something. I'll consider that. That might be fun. That actually would be fun. I'm gonna make sure I pack everything I need for that on my trip, which is easy except for batteries. Batteries make that hard. Midwest meetup would be awesome. I was in Chicago not too long ago. In December, I believe, or November, I was in Chicago for just an afternoon and evening while I was traveling. I like Chicago. I haven't been to Detroit outside of the airport. I've been in the airport, but I have not been in the city of Detroit. Wait, have I? I've been just outside of Detroit. Trying to remember the name of the city I was in. I was doing a work conference there. Is there a city around the outside of Detroit that has a really large Muslim population? I think I might have been there. I don't remember the name of it. Katina from SeaWorld said she likes your feed. Who's that? I appreciate anybody saying they like my feed. Thank you. A lot of people out walking the salt flats right now. I think it's probably Fish and Wildlife. I'm not positive, but there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 people walking lines. It looks like. Killer whale. Is Katina a killer whale at SeaWorld? Orca? Those are the same thing, right? Killer whale and orca? All right, I think we're gonna start wrapping things up. So let me aim the camera down a little bit here, and we'll do an official sign off. I don't like that framing. don't like this framing either, but I think it'll be all right for now. That's a little better. All right. So if you've checking my mic. If you've joined us today, I very much appreciate you being here. Thanks for everybody who has stopped in to say hi, to chat about what was happening here today. Thank you so much to our channel members, and thank you, El Hungaro, for the super chat today. We really appreciate all the support, whether you liked, comments, subscribe, chatting, just watching. All of that helps us build our channel and help reach more people like you. There's some people out there that may not know that they have a huge passion for spaceflight. They haven't really got to acknowledge that yet, but maybe at some point they'll stumble on either my channel or somebody else down here at Starbase's channel and learn that they do have that passion for spaceflight. So all the engagement on this channel helps more folks actually see the channel and helps with the algorithm, all that YouTube stuff that you hear about all the time. But today has been a fantastic day so far. We got to see Booster 10 roll from the Starbase production site down here to the launch complex. It's a great sign, as we have some idea that B10 maybe had some issues during a recent wet dress rehearsal test or two. And the fact that it's back down here at the launch complex now makes me believe that it's most likely fixed at this point. So of course we won't know that for sure until they do some additional testing on Booster 10, hopefully in this upcoming week or so. So now that Booster 10 is down here at the launch complex, maybe even as soon as today, we should see it get lifted onto the OLM. And once it's up there at the OLM, maybe we might even see Ship 28 make its way over here and get stacked as well. Another possibility is maybe they'll keep Ship 28 over at the suborbital pad for a few more days. Maybe they'll do a static fire on it. But everything is indicating that most likely they're going to move S28 to the orbital pad and stack relatively soon. So the plan for today right now is we're going to wrap up stream. I'm going to head home. I have some work commitments. I'm going to get my work out of the way. I'm going to go to my meetings. I'm going to get all my deliverables done. And I'm going to keep an eye on what's happening here at Starbase. If we're looking pretty good on the work front, and it looks like they might do some lifts today, we're going to try to get back out here if at all possible. Right now, it looks like they're doing some work on the OLM, potentially removing some scaffolding. We just don't know exactly what. We keep seeing them lift things out of the OLM, so that's our best guess at the moment. But that's all I have for now. I'll do one last check-in on chat, so let me just bring up chat here. Dearborn, this was back to an earlier conversation. Detroit Mission Control. Yeah, Dearborn, that's where I was for that work conference. Mark says, I'm kidding, just pulling your leg. Detroit Mission Control says, Detroit Metropolitan has the largest concentration of Middle Eastern people outside of Middle East. Yeah, that's what I thought. I went to that conference there, and I couldn't remember the name of it, but I did remember that there was a very large Middle Eastern population. So yeah, you nailed that. That was Dearborn, Michigan. Very cool. But yeah, it looks like that's all we got. Again, thank you everybody so much, especially our members and anybody who donated today. We really couldn't do without you, so thank you so much. Starlink, quick update on Starlink. We're able to get on a priority plan for Starlink, so hopefully you notice a lot less of a frame drops this stream, and that should continue on forward, so I'm really happy about that. I have been having one issue with Starlink lately. On initial boot up, sometimes it doesn't connect right away, and I've had to reset it a couple times, and that's happened twice so far, so I'm a little bit concerned about maybe a cable is going bad or something. I just don't know. I'm going to have to keep a close eye on that. But anyway, other than that, equipment's looking good. I gave you an update on the camera earlier. We're getting a new second camera in. We sent another one back. New microphone is working great. Starlink, we'll figure out what's going on with Starlink. But otherwise, we're rocking and rolling here, continuing to up the production quality and equipment of Rocket Future as much as we can to try to bring you the best coverage we can. So that's all I got for now. Hopefully we'll be back live again today with some lifting. I might miss the Booster 10 lift if it happens in the next couple hours. If it happens later today, I might be able to get it. But just stay tuned. Don't forget to make sure you're subscribed and you have your notifications on. That way, if something is happening, you will get notified that I went live. Generally speaking, I will only go live when something important and breaking is happening at Starbase, like a rollout, a lift, a test, and obviously a launch as well. Very occasionally do we come down here and just kind of do general streams. So if you have notifications on, most of the time it's because something actually important is happening. But yeah, that's all I got. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you very much. I'm going to leave you with some live views of Booster 10 while I start breaking all the non-essential stuff down. But we appreciate you very much. We'll see you next time. My name is Andrew, and peace out.